Alright. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. There's no game audio yet. I'm just testing the mic right now. Testing, testing. Yep, testing, testing. I guess you can hear me. I'm just setting up my drink. There shouldn't be game audio yet. I'm going to press some buttons just to see if it's too loud. So are these sounds too loud compared to my voice? I mean, the gavel right there is always going to be loud. But I think this volume is fine for when it's just music. It's good. Alright. Let me just fix this then. Perfect. I'm gonna mute myself for the beginning because it's loud and I'd rather you be able to hear that than me. So here we go. So how was that volume? Was that loud? Was it too low? And I totally forgot to say ketchup warning, but yeah, there's some ketchup in this game. There was a lot right there. Yeah, lots of ketchup. That's all it was, though. That was good? Okay. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hi, Chief. Glad I made it on time. I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything. It's all over. Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die? Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished? I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. Ketchup! A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. Yes, that's his name. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. Yeah, Larry Butts. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hand shaking, eyesight faded. A little too loud? What about now? The test will consist of a few simple answers. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. How is it now? I figured it was too loud, but I wanted to make sure it was heard because the music in this game is the best. I love it so much. Perfect. Alright, so you probably all know the answer to this, but just in case, we can check the court record, and it has all kinds of stuff. But it's Mr. Butts. We'll do this one. What That's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait, uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course, I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the defendant's name is listed in the court record. Just touch the court record button to check it anytime, okay? Remember, check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. He's such a scrub. I love it. Who is the victim? So we can always go to the court record. And we can even go to profiles. And it'll have everybody's name. And a little summary and their age. So her name is Cindy Stone. Not Cinder Block. Cindy Stone. Victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was... And then I think we all saw it already, but same thing. Loss of blood due to blood trauma. Blunt object. Cinder block. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. The victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. So it's added to our record so we can open it and present it. Cinder Block. Who would name their kid Cinder Block? Come on. Cindy Stone, Cinder Block, same thing. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. What do I do now? Pay attention, you don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony. Didn't they all die? It wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you, and was seeing other men. Ooh. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Aha. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Yeah, poor Larry. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but she did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! You can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer the question. That question? Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Alright, here's your first decision. Should I wait and see what happens, or should I stop him from answering that question? One or two? Stop him from answering. Jose, what's up, buddy? How's it going? My client had no idea that the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to the case. Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Now it looks like he's got a motive for sure. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Ooh. Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Just so you guys know, the events that occur in this courtroom are in a video game. They're not real, but never say that in court. Never say, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You have to answer. Just a heads up. That won't float. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Alright, which one? Jose, for this game, I'm letting you guys choose what happens. So, whoever says an option, I will do that one. Because I've beaten these games already and I know, like, what to do. So this is him, if he's gonna say he was at her apartment or not. Should he answer honestly, or should he not say anything? Mix up my drink a little bit. I mean, either one is like... I mean, having him answer honestly is good. Having him not answer might be good too. Oh, sorry to hear about that, Jose. I hope it all gets fixed up soon. That's a bummer. Answer honestly. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? Prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Well, hopefully it's not too bad, Jose. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Jose, this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where you play a defense lawyer. And honestly, when my friend recommended these games to me, I was like, nah, that's not my style. And then I gave them a try, and I couldn't put them down. I love these games. They're so good. They're very different than what I'm used to, or what I was used to. But, yeah. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. I've played the original trilogy. I own all three of them on the DS, on my phone, and on the Wii Virtual Console. So yeah, I like them. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. He looks familiar, right? Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. What's up, Ayumu? How's it going? Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1:00 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your usual. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination? The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key, it's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. I'm gonna restart it and see if it picks up. It should be fine now, right? Let me know if it's back. It's fine now? Okay, thank you. So he says, I was going door to door, selling subscriptions, when he saw a man fleeing an apartment. He left the door halfway open behind him. He looked inside, and he says he saw the woman dead. He couldn't go inside. He wanted to call the police immediately. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. The time was 1 o'clock. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant. Yeah, that was just a YouTube thing hiccuping for a sec, I guess. So, do you see anything contradicting what he's saying? Let's see, let's go to... Alright, let's see who spots it first. He said it was 1 p.m., but if you look right here, time of death is supposed to be 4 to 5 p.m. So that's pretty sketchy. We're going to present that. You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for sure, for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Uh-oh. Oh, that? Oh. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw it. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright. He is guilty. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do? I've got this one. So now he's saying he heard the time on the TV. Do we have anything that could say otherwise? Cross, give it a minute, then you can say it. Well, I mean, look at this right here. What does it say? Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. And he's saying it was at 1 o'clock, and the autopsy says it was 4 to 5. So no matter what the time was, or what time he heard, there was no electricity, right? So how was the TV on? Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. Busted again. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Saw It? I find it puzzling myself, quite. I remember now, Mr. Saw It. The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. Must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Saw It. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. It wasn't there. Yeah, the murder weapon, but the killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. I love when it picks up like this. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. But the weapon wasn't a clock, right? It was a statue. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence? Just who do you think you are? I'm a defense attorney. That's my job. Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it in there, okay? It's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? There's definitely a problem with that. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Ooh. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed, the witness knew it was a clock because he had to have gone into the apartment, right? You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw It. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. There's the ketchup again. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? Look, clock, I heard. No. He's freaking out. Whoa. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her and he should burn. Burn. Give him death. Alright. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor. Claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sweat heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Welcome back, Cheeky. So we're trying to prove that the victim... Or not the victim. Mr. Sawit is the killer. What do you think we should do? Yep, he's bald. He threw his hair at us. In all the trials in this game, when you have the person who committed the crime, like, in a corner and they're freaking out, they have some funny animations. What's up, Jordan? Alright, let's do what Ayumu was saying. Check the batteries. All you have to do is examine the batteries. Indeed, the batteries are in the right way. The clock seems to be working fine. What exactly do you mean, Mr. Wright? Yes, the clock was working fine. Yes, and? I'm sorry. I think I got confused back there with all those testimonies. Mr. Wright, I expect more from a lawyer in this court, even if it is your first day. Oh, we got a penalty. No! Alright, so it wasn't the batteries. There's something more pressing that we should be doing. Good guess, good guess. The sound he heard was definitely from this clock. So how can we prove that? Ask the neighbors, or should we try sounding the clock right now? What's up, Jordan? Don't be sorry, it's alright. A lot of times in this game, or in this game series, there are things like that where you think this could probably be it, but it's actually something else. They're very tricky. Alright, Jose, good luck, man. Cheeky says, try sounding the clock. Now we know it works. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. He is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is right now? It's 11:25. Ah. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between that and Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. Right, sometimes I do the wrong answer just to see what they say. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha! You forget one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Oh my god, Jordan. Pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust from Little Caesars. You're the second person to talk to me about that today? And I've never even had Little Caesars, and there's one nearby. I might have to get it sometime. Pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust? Delicious. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Oh, the music in this game is great, and this is just the courtroom music. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Saw It. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. He's getting away. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. That's it. Not so fast, Mr. Saw It. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside the box. Out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Yeah, why was it 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? We have to say yes, right? Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Huh, tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence proves why the clock was running slow. So we have our attorney's badge, we have an autopsy report, we have a statue that is a clock, we have a passport, and we have a blackout record. See if anybody got it. I'll just show all the evidence so you guys can read. The blackout record? What does everybody think? Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. We are trying to prove that her clock was running slow on that day. It's definitely not his badge, I'll give you that. The autopsy report won't really help with the time, because we're talking about the time that the clock said, not the time of death on this report. The statue, we don't really have anything pertaining to that. We have a passport that she came home a day before she was murdered, right? Yeah. And she was in Paris before then. And then the blackout. across who want to help him out. I don't know if anybody has it. It's kind of tricky. I definitely didn't put it together the first time I played this, because it wasn't something I was thinking of. That's what I love about this game. It really does make you think outside the box. Think about time and time difference. We all have, some of us have time differences, right? I just gave a big hint, so let me see if they can get it. Different times and different places. Yep. Let's go with the passport. The victim had just returned from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Wow, Phoenix, real nice. He's so corny, I love it. Uh-oh. Good job, Ayumu. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. Mr. Did It, right? I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Order, order. And with that, the court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Saw It let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saw It grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Yep, good job. Whew, still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen a chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was, nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry! She thinks his name is Harry Butts. Yes, you, I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks, I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh no, I couldn't. He's moved on pretty quickly. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. Cindy, Windy, Harry Bumps. A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't that make you... want to just cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Alright, what are we gonna show Larry that shows that his Cindy Windy actually cared about him? I'm still getting over the hairy butts. What do we show to make him feel better? Should we show him Phoenix Wright's attorney badge? Or her autopsy report? Probably not that. The clock? Ayumu's all over this game, alright. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling, that's true. Well, make of it what you will. Hey Nick, I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am, thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Good job. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them, and in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. That's deep. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Maya." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. The innocent butt. Alright, so we're not going to move on to the next trial because it's going to take a while. Like Mega Man, I'm going to come back and do trials once in a while, and we'll get through this game eventually. Do I have an innocent butt? Maybe. I don't know. However, I am going to show you the intro to the next case to keep you all a little interested. So let's see what happens at the beginning of the next trial. or the next chapter. Here we go. And I'm gonna end that there. We'll do that case next time I come back to this game. Yeah. Definitely didn't expect that to happen first time I played through this. So what do you guys think? Should I come back to this game, maybe during the weekend? Thank you, Cross. Thank you, Cheeky. Yeah, definitely Jinx at the same time. I think tomorrow we'll continue Fire Emblem, because I left you guys off on a cliffhanger on that too. And maybe Sunday we'll do the next case in this game, because that case we just did was kind of like the tutorial. It's not really a big case. The next one is actually like a, you'll have to see. It's more of, it's not a tutorial, I'll say that. So tomorrow Fire Emblem, Sunday we'll do this case and see what the heck just happened, because that's pretty messed up. Yeah, I love this game. We'll definitely be, again, like I said, with Mega Man, I'm gonna complete like a game once in a blue moon. Same thing with these cases, but I'll definitely do Sunday to get into an actual case that isn't a tutorial. We have some interesting characters in this upcoming case. I think Cross knows who I'm talking about. Somebody very interesting. But that'll be it for now. Thank you guys for joining. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We'll continue doing it that way, where I'll let you guys do the answers. That was fun. And Cross can help out because he's played these before. And yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. It was a lot of fun. I always forget how much I love these games until I play them again. If there was ever a game where I wish I could erase my memory of it to play it again, it would be this series. I would love to forget everything and just experience it again, but at least you guys are doing this with me. And for most of you, it's the first time, so you can have that amazing experience. And we'll come back with this on Sunday for sure. So, thank you again, and stay tuned to see what the heck just happened. Take care, guys. Bye.